So much evil in this world, I sit back like, why bother? But get a different view every time that I call dollar. It's like Numi got the Uzi, man, she always speaking facts. She be dropping bombs, make all of them double back. Then the crime raises. It's something they never gon' get that. But it's cool, let's sit back and chit chat. Unveiled mindset.
Hey guys, welcome to Unveiled Mindset, where we have enlightening and purpose-filled conversation to help nurture growth and unveil the mind. Today we have two amazing guests, and I am going to pull up my phone to make sure I don't miss a beat. So I'm joined by two incredible women who embody resilience, purpose, and grace, both in their careers and in their personal lives. One of our guests, Aisha Balde, is an innovative digital strategist with over a decade of experience helping brands grow through creative marketing, social media, and digital campaigns. Our second guest, Jenna Bubari, is a revenue specialist with over 10 years of experience in the hospitality industry. She played a key role in improving hotel standards, rate strategy, and enterprise-wide initiatives. Beyond their professional excellence, they're both Guinean American women, wives, and mothers, balancing culture, family, and ambition with so much authenticity. Aisha and Jenabu, welcome to the Unveiled Mindset. I'm so excited to have you both here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Glad to be here.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
And we have been wanting to get you guys on the podcast for so long, and I'm glad the stars align and you're able to be here.
Finally.
From Dallas.
Yeah.
From
Indianapolis.
Exactly. Indianapolis.
Finally.
So thank you. All right. So first we're going to get started. And I know you heard me say a lot about kind of background in terms of what they do, but I want you guys to hear it in their own words. Okay. So before we get into anything else, tell us a little bit about yourselves, who you are, in your titles, beyond the careers. Who is Aisha and who is Jenabu?
Okay.
Go ahead, sis. Go. You got this, Jada. Come on. Come on, girl.
Okay. So Jane Abubadi, mother of 3 beautiful girls, a wife, and I am in the revenue management side in the hotel industry. Been there for 10 plus years. So really enjoying it, loving it. And I live in Dallas, Texas. Been married 17 years.
Wow.
I was one of them young ones.
17.
But yeah, I got married really young. I knew what I wanted and I got it. So yeah.
Ooh, she knew what she wanted and she got it.
Nice. Okay. My name is Aisha Balde. I am currently a development manager, which is essentially a fundraiser for a nonprofit organization. Prior to that, I was in comms and marketing for most of my life, honestly, which is what I studied for. I'm also a content creator on the side. Of course, an author. I live in Indianapolis with my husband of 11 years with our 3 girls.
Woo!
So, yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, no, that is amazing. So you're both mother of 3 girls.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Both wifeys for
Girl
over a
mom.
decade. Girl mom.
Girl mom.
And so this is literally the next generation. I feel like growing up, we always we'll look at our aunties and things like that. And then now we're literally in their shoes. We're able to inspire. We're able to share our stories and whatnot for the next generation. So then this goes back into, and one of the things, so you did mention you're an author and then also content creator. Do you want the name of your book,
Yes.
your page, etc.?
Absolutely. So you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and my website. It's all Tells and Turbans. And then my book is called Daddies and Daughters Stick Together. You can find it on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and Target.
Yes. Thank you for that. So speaking about sharing our stories, okay? I want to know more about your stories. Who was little Jenabu, little Aisha? Take me back to the beginning, okay? In Guinea. Where did you grow up? Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Okay. Little Jenabu. I was born in Guinea Conakry. So as far the village aspect of it, so my mom and dad were mainly in Conakry, in Dixon to be exact. My mom is part of the C family in Dixon. So Sia, if you know Conakry, you know where that is. And my dad is originally from Mamung, but also grew up in Dixon area, Conakry. So I was born there, raised there until I was 8 years old. And then we came to the United States. My dad came first. And then 2 years later, my mom came. I was there with my grandma, which I loved to death. So she basically raised me. And then my brother and I joined our parents here. My sisters were born here. So yeah, but Guinea's home. Here is here. It was very different and shocking, but you know, we managed. We managed. Firstborn of the family, so it was a lot of navigating, a lot of things that I had to figure out on my own. But you know, alhamdulillah, we're here.
Alhamdulillah. What about you?
Okay, so little old me. I was born in Conakry, Jean Paul II, to be specific. And so we've lived somewhere else before Lambagne, but Lambagne is really all I remember because I think we moved there when I was like still very, very young. So I have an older sister, a little brother. We were based in Conakry as well, even though like my mom and dad are from Lebe, and every single summer, as soon as like school finished, my dad would put us in the car and drive us off to Lebe, and we'll spend the whole summer there,
vacation.
and we'll come back. We'll come back after summer. And I think so. We moved here. My mom actually is the one who moved to the U.S. first, and so my mom moved a couple of years later. My dad, my sister, my brother, and I we followed suit. I moved here when I was 14 years old, so I was a little bit older, and I know much more of Guinea. And honestly, it was a challenge because I feel like I moved here around African booty scratcher era. So it was pretty rough. As someone who did not speak English. Living in the Bronx. But you know, we thank God. We thank God.
We thank God. Those days hopefully are behind this generation and the next generation.
Now they want to be us.
How old were you when you moved?
I was 8 years old when I moved.
Okay. And you also moved to New York.
Yeah, moved to New York, Brooklyn, Eastern Parkway.
Okay.
Exact.
So you moved to Brooklyn, you moved to Bronx, and let's get into that, okay? In the actually before, did you guys know you were moving here? Because some people, they think they're going on vacation and they just never go back.
No, I knew.
Okay.
No, I didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know. So we were told we're going to see our dad. Like I said, I loved my grandma. My grandma raised me, so I was good. I was comfortable. I was with my grandma and my aunt. My aunt's husband, who passed, also took care of me, and you know, it was good. So all of a sudden, Jaina, you're going to see mommy and dad. I'm like, no, I want to stay with grandma and auntie. You know. And my little brother was 6, so he really didn't know much and things. So it was me and him that came. And it was shocking because I left Conakry. I was living well in Conakry. And then I came to Brooklyn. On Eastern Parkway. In a building. I'm like, what is this?
Yes. You know, I don't think we talk about it enough. I don't think we talk about it. We don't talk about the shift because a lot of us were middle class, right? In Guinea. So
and what does that mean? Let's explain.
So middle class in Guinea means you have a house, there's a maid, there's a driver, you're getting dropped off, you're in private school. So then you go from there to like you move here and you're like in a building, you're sharing rooms
with pissy elevators.
It's a shock.
You're taking the bus to school, you're in a public school, oh my God, it's such a culture shock.
Such a shock.
And then the school.
Such a shock.
Too, like, you know, when you first come, you got to take ESL. And the jokes that come with that, we all know. And then, but for me, what shocked me, like, it was the first time I saw a student talk back to the teacher and not get whooped. I was like, you could do that here?
Yeah. And that's another thing too, because I mean, over there in terms of discipline, it's not only home, but it's at school
It's
as
at
well.
school. They have every right to discipline you
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah. Which I have some feelings about that in terms of, you know, I think
Me too. I actually do. Like, I'm very much like,
yeah.
honestly, I believe in parents. Like, if you're gonna discipline, let the parents discipline.
Yep.
I don't believe in other people disciplining your children. I do believe in community, and
Yep.
you know, it takes a village.
Yeah.
And so it's time to call the parents, and but anything physical,
Yeah.
I'm
Because when we
okay.
say discipline, as in like teachers actually like whooping the students.
Yeah.
Like that's what that means.
Because I remember, like, even in Guinea, because in Guinea, like, teachers were allowed to whoop you. I
Yeah.
remember one time I got whooped, and it wasn't because I did anything wrong, right? And I remember I went home, and whatever they had hit me with, because I was in a private school, whatever they hit me with, left the mark.
Oh.
And my dad was the type of dad, even though I lived in Guinea, he wasn't okay with anyone, including within the family, touching me.
you.
Like,
Yep.
he was not okay with that. And I remember when I came home that day, I showed him, like, I took off my shirt and I showed it to him. The next day, he walked up in that school and he says, if anybody ever puts their hands on her,
Yes.
I'm going to make sure I lock you up.
Yeah.
And I never got touched again.
Yeah.
As
ever.
he should.
Yeah.
As he should.
Even though it was in Guinea. And it's shocking to hear, because a lot of times in Guinea, it's like,
they're like,
you know,
yeah,
it's
you don't
like,
do that.
people,
yeah, like listen to you're
Listen
gonna get
to
in trouble
your-
if like you're even gonna get in more trouble like when you
Yeah.
come home and then the teacher has something to say about
Yeah,
it.
they believe
But it's
the
good that he stuck up
teacher
for you.
The majority believes the teacher more than the child.
Yep.
So yeah, that is different in Guinea. But there are some parents that, okay, it's my child, don't touch my child. Type of thing.
Okay. But yeah, no, that's I agree with that in terms of discipline. Like, I definitely have some thoughts on there. I do think like there's a certain level of discipline and respect that definitely does need to happen in the school, but physicalness, I think that's crossing the line.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, so then you guys came here, and it's funny, we had another podcast with another guest, and one of the things that they said, I think quote was like, he said his social class went down when he moved here to America.
Yes.
And whereas like people over there will think that like, oh, you're in America, the movies, you got the cars, like all this stuff.
Money don't grow on trees.
But he said it was the complete opposite when he moved here.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you realize I'm not going back, who told you that? Or like, were you just waiting and then it just never happened? How did you realize?
I don't think it was a conversation. I just realized, because as soon as I came, my twin sisters were born.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. And I see mommy, daddy, my brother, we're all here. So I'm like, okay, I'm starting school, because, you know, if it's vacation, you don't start school.
All of a sudden,
Right?
it's
Right.
cool.
You didn't start school. So I started school. I was like, okay, I guess I got to come to life that this is it. But there wasn't any conversation to be had or anything.
You just kind of
But
figured.
I kind of figured.
Yeah.
And again, I was 8.
Yeah.
9, so it wasn't like much. It was just with the norm type of thing.
And then what was the hardest part about as soon as you moved here, just adapting, especially being here in New York City?
Honestly, I think for me, the language barrier was big, because when I tell you, I did not speak a lick of English, and that was rough. I didn't realize how rough that was going to be. That was really hard.
Yeah. And when you're
then
older.
I think what made it worse for me,
Yeah.
I was 14.
Yeah.
And so what made it worse for me, as soon as we got here, like, I think it was like 2 weeks, and we were in school. We were in school. So we did some testing, and then, I had to go back down a few grades. So I started 8th grade, right? Instead of going into high school, and I had to go back to 8th grade. And I went
back that
much? Literally, I went back to 8th grade.
Uh-huh.
And because I had to go back to 8th grade, I didn't have much options in terms of like international options. So I was put into a school in the Bronx, not too far from where we lived. At the time, we lived in Gun Hill Road. And no one spoke anything else other than English. Like there was one the guidance there was one not the guidance counselor. There was a guidance counselor or something that was in there, and she spoke maybe like 2 words of French. That was it.
They didn't have ESL in the class in the school?
We did, but the ESL person didn't speak anything but English.
Yeah. Oh, that makes no sense.
No, literally. So it was really bad because I remember the first 3. I was like, I would go home, I'll cry, and I would say I want to go home.
Yeah.
I literally used to cry and say I want to go home. I don't want to stay here because you go into school.
Yeah.
And my brother and I will go into school, but then like he was a different grade than I.
Yeah.
I'll go into school. I'll write everything that was on the board.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to say anything.
Yeah.
Right. And because of that, like even using the restrooms, I had to like realize that, okay, people are asking for a pass. So what I would do is if one student asked for a pass and they went to the restroom, I'll wait for them to come back. As soon as they come back, I will get up and I'll walk up to them and I will take the pass from them.
Yeah.
And that's how I would usually go to the restroom because I didn't even know how to ask.
To go to the bathroom.
I did not.
Imagine
So it was
sitting in a
hard.
classroom. You got to use the bathroom, but you don't have the English words to know how to say the bathroom. And you're like too shy to like, oh, I'm just going to like go.
You're going to get in trouble.
In trouble.
Just get up and get out.
Yes. So it was really hard, honestly. Like it took me a little bit. And then on top of like, just like the teasing from like in the beginning, honestly, the teasing didn't bother me because I didn't know what the hell they were saying.
I didn't understand it. You could be calling me.
I did not
anything.
understand it, right? Like
Yeah.
the stairs were uncomfortable.
I'm going to stand right here like, I don't know what they're talking about.
The stairs were uncomfortable, but I will say that actually, as hard as that was, it kind of pushed me to learn English so like super quickly because if I tell you, we came here, 2000... What year was it? I was 14 years
before
ago.
9/11?
After.
It was after 9/11.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
after 9/11.
Like 2005 maybe?
2004, 2005.
Okay.
I think it was around 2005. So look at that.
Yeah.
And so for me, that pushed me. I think within a year, I spoke English. I understood. Because I was able to graduate with honors. So that was fine. I did take ESL, but I think being in the
probably
environment-
2006, a little bit old,
I think
closer.
about 2006, 2006, 7-ish.
Yeah.
So again, I had to literally learn how to figure it out. And I think being in the environment where you didn't have a choice
You
but
didn't
to
have a
speak,
choice.
But to figure it out.
that's all I could do. But
Yeah.
it was hard. Like I really wanted to go home. I would go home crying every day. I want to go home.
Yeah. I think because I was younger and I was in Brooklyn. Brooklyn is a Haitian community. Like we were there.
So they speak
Little
French.
Haiti.
Yeah.
So they
Yes.
spoke Creole. A lot of people thought I was Haitian. And I went with the hey.
It was easier because you didn't get that much bullied, did you?
I did get bullied, but I'm the type that was really quiet. Like I was like more in the background because obviously I knew that I didn't understand anything. I was much more studying people. But my ESL teacher was also a Haitian. And I remember how she looks to this day. Tall lady with short bob hair. I loved her. Like 4th grade was what I entered. And she was the best. She was a Haitian teacher. So I remember her just like, she always had me by her side. Like wherever she went, she'd be like, come here. And then her little Creole, my French, we spoke a little bit. We figured it out together. But the bullying did happen from the boys. The girls were a little bit more calmer.
Wow.
Middle school is
rough.
When the girls was like, and then we moved to Staten Island.
Okay.
When I was in middle school. So that was a different transition on its own. It's a different population, a different type of people too.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting. But school was really, really harsh. Like but it built character. But
and resilience.
At
a young age.
Yeah, at a young age. But you shouldn't have to go through that. But in hindsight, it did build me up. Like even me going through that and some of the things my girls complain about now, I'm like, girl, really?
Yeah.
I got into a lot of physical fights my first year here.
Really? And that's tough because number one, you don't even speak anything like
Yeah.
English to like start things.
To
So
start
pretty much
things.
you're like
They're-
defending
they're-
yourself.
Yeah, like
pretty much
I think that my first year here, I got into 3 different fights.
From girls, I'm assuming.
Well, the first 2,
She said the first.
the first 2 was like individually, right? So there was a boy, and it's so funny because I remember him. His name is Muhammad. I remember him to this day. My little brother at the time, funny enough, like now my little brother is much bigger than me, taller. Like if you see him, back then he was like this very skinny, small boy. So we'll do ESL together, even though we had different classes. And then so there was this Yemeni boy. His name is Mohammed, and he was older, and he would always pick on my brother. And at the time, my brother did not like have the voice that he has now and all these things.
Yeah.
And so he would pick on my brother. So one time, and I had told him like to stop picking on my brother. So that's the one fight I would say I guess I started because I punched him in his nose. So for him to leave my brother alone. My
She
second,
said, I don't know what to say, speak, but I'm gonna punch you in the nose and hopefully you get
That way
it.
you get the
I told him
message.
to stop. But the second fight was with a Jamaican girl. And she was always, and it's funny because from the time I arrived at the school, for some reason, she had an issue with me. I do not understand what was happening. At first, I didn't know what she was saying, right? Like she would say things to me, but I didn't understand English, so I didn't know what she was saying. But as like 6 months in, I'm over here like, okay, like now I understand what she's saying. She's like, do you guys have clothes in Africa? Do you wear shoes? Do you fight? You know, like it's the whole, the
question,
stereotypical, you know, do you
live in a
do you
tree?
live in a
Have you
tree?
seen an elephant? I'm like,
An
my first
elephant.
elephant was at your zoo.
No,
Not-
Yes.
like literally.
At your zoo.
Yes,
I've
in America.
never-
Right. So those were the questions, right?
Yeah.
And then I remember one day, like it was like during the lunch period, and I was sitting down, and she was behind me with her friend, and she kept throwing fries at me.
Oh
Like
my
from
goodness.
the other table, and I'll turn around, and you know, and again I was like, I didn't speak much
Yeah.
because again I'm learning English and all that stuff, and I'm a new girl, so I was very like shy and to myself because I mean, who do I talk to? There was this one Gambian girl that I was friends with, so I'll sit with her. And she kept doing it, and every time I would turn around, and I guess the third time when I turned around, because I didn't know exactly who was, I knew it might have been her, but I wasn't 100% sure. So I kept turning back around. The third time I turned back around, she was like, "What?" And so I literally jumped off from my table and went to, because it's gotten to the point where it's like it was a buildup. Because
Yeah.
every time you see me, you had something to say, and I didn't do anything.
Now you're
to
throwing
you.
fries at my head.
And so literally jumped on her, and we got to fighting the whole lunchroom. It was like chaotic. And then so that was the second fight. And then the third one, I got jumped by a whole class.
Oh God. Goodness. Imagine you left like a place where, okay, you know, you have the nanny that's waking you up, the food is ready when you come downstairs,
Girl.
you got the chauffeur, you have your friends, you're hanging out, to coming here, figuring out the English, people making fun, people throwing things, and then now they jump you.
Yeah.
That is wild.
I got jumped.
That is wild. In the Bronx too. So I'm like, that's scary.
Honestly, you know, but it's crazy because I don't know what it is. Like, even back in Guinea, like my dad has always like been very much, like I wasn't necessarily sheltered, but my dad is the type that will tell you, if you're in a fight with someone who's bigger than you, whatever you have around, take it and throw it at them. I'll deal with the consequences. Defend
Like stand
yourself.
up for yourself.
Exactly.
Defend yourself.
So to me, even when I say I've been bullied, people try to bully me, but I'm like, you can't bully me. Because
Yeah.
in order for you to bully me, I have to let you.
And take I have to allow it to happen.
So
Oh
next
my
day I was in
goodness.
school.
That is quite a transition. That is quite a transition. And I feel like that's something where a lot of us can understand. A lot of us that are, and it doesn't even have to just be Guinean.
Yeah.
Whether you're from South America, whether you're from Europe, whatever the case may be, like coming to America as a young person, there's such a multicultural experience that we all share.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things like on this podcast we like to talk about is exactly that, the multicultural experience, because it's a unique experience.
It is.
We can't 100% relate to, like, it's not 100% the experience of someone who is born, raised, and stays in the country of origin.
Yep.
And it's not 100% the people who live in, born, raised, and have stayed in the destination country that we live in.
I agree.
We have this like cross in between of experience. And depending on, and yeah, it varies, right? It can depend on, whether you came when you were super young, whether you came as a teenager, whether you came as an adult. It varies the range that we have, but we have that all in common.
Yeah.
And it's not even just like from other countries, even if it's social economic, right? Growing up and being in a particular social economic environment and then making it out of that. And then now you're living in a whole different world and having to adapt to that. Like, it's also different.
Yeah.
So, what's one thing that you okay, so actually before I go into that, now let's move forward. All right. You then were able to thrive and make it out of that, right? And be resilient. And then you both went off to college. How was that experience in comparison to high school?
College was okay. High school was good too. As far as bullying aspects and stuff like that. College was good. I started college. I did 2 years here, and then got married, and then did my other 2 years in Texas. So that's where I completed my college.
Literally the same. I'm shaking my head.
Really?
I'm shaking my head because I did 2 years of college here in here in New York, and then I got married and moved to Indianapolis, and then finished over there.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And it was very interesting. So college here was, I went to City college, which was, CUNY system. It was good. Enjoyed it. It was, I wouldn't say my first freedom type of thing, but it was good. I was learning things on my own and stuff like that. And funny thing, actually, as far as paperwork goes, like we are immigrants and things like that. My papers, like, to be able to get the financial aid and all that happened during my first year of college.
Wow.
When I was in high school, I had the opportunity for scholarships and all this thing. And I found out in high school that I can't get any of that because I'm not legal.
We need to dive into that experience.
I wasn't legal type of thing, but I didn't know.
And you found out when it was time
when
for
application time came around.
Yeah.
Right? Because you have your high school teachers, they see you doing great. They want to help you out and get into something that you want and stuff like that. So I'm asking my mom, my dad, my parents, like,
so I got to apply to this. This is the deadline. So, let's hurry up. And and then it's like, oh, actually.
And then I'm like, oh, okay, so this is where we at. But, I don't fault them. They've been trying. They were trying. It was immigration problems, law problems, and all that stuff. But, my first semester of college, my parents paid out of pocket for it. And then by the second semester, I had my paperwork and I got Pell Grants and all that helped out.
Wow.
Yep. But anyways, I did 2 years here. Got married. I told my husband, I was like, let me finish before I head there.
Okay.
He was like, ain't nobody about to wait for you.
Oh. the last 2 years, that's what you were trying to negotiate.
I was like, let me finish, and then I'll move at once. We get settled. He was like,
just come home. I want you to be close.
Transfer stuff, colleges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the reason I brought that up is because that's the way my parents did it. So my mom and my dad met when she was in college. She was in college in Senegal. And he was in Conakry. And he waited for her to finish it. And then they got married. Yeah. But so I brought that up. He was like, nah, we could transfer.
We could transfer. You can come right on to Texas.
Yeah, so finished my 2 years in Texas, and I was pregnant too at that time. So it
Oh
was
my God.
You guys have the same story.
We have the same life.
I feel like you and I are like similar in so many ways. It's not even
because
funny. Like,
literally,
our stories are so similar.
Like, I was pregnant with Jody and I was going to college when I was pregnant with Jody, right? And it's funny because as soon as I remember my graduation day. So we the day that I graduated from college with my bachelor's, that was the same week we moved into our home, our house that we've been building, right? And then the same week we moved into the house that we were building. Like, I think we weren't even fully moved in. So I graduated. I think 2 days later we moved into this house, and then I think like another day or two later I found out I was pregnant with Fatima.
Oh goodness. goodness. That is so funny.
It was a lot. It was like back to
Back
back.
to back to back.
It was a lot. It was a lot. But hey,
And
I would go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, like, how did you guys meet your husbands?
I met my husband through a mutual friend. So Tima, Tima that you met yesterday. So Tima, her dad knows my husband.
Oh.
So my husband was like, "Oh, I'm looking to get married." It was the family connection stuff, and then he was like, "Oh, I know this girl," and then that's how we got together.
You see,
Yeah.
I'm all for introductions. I don't like the forcing of it, but I'm all for introductions.
Yeah.
They're literally like virtual, in person. Like you think of an app, those apps, but it's like in person, and then like your families. So
they did the hookup, and we started talking, and
well, he was in Texas, and then you were here.
Yeah,
okay.
my husband never really liked New York.
Okay.
Yeah, he came on a student visa and did all that, and then as soon as he was done, he was like, "I'm not staying in New York.
To Texas.
That's not it."
I met my husband at a wedding.
How about you? Yeah, you met him at. You see, weddings. Go to people.
Go to events.
Go to events. Don't feel like they're dragging me to this event again.
It's so funny because I actually knew his whole friend group. Like I know everybody in his friend group because they lived in New York. At some point, he lived in Jersey, and so this wedding he had just flew in from Indy that day, and so his friends picked him up and they were like, "Oh, such and such is getting married. We should go." And then he was like, "Okay." And so it was a friend of mine who was getting married, and I was there running around. So I guess he had seen me, and so I remember one of his boys walking up to me and saying, "Oh, my boy is looking for a wife or something." And I remember just looking at them and just like shaking them off, and then going about my business because I'm running around like sweaty, helping out.
Yeah.
And then a couple of days later, one of our mutual who I was close to at the time reached out to me and was like, "Hey, my boy saw you at this wedding and he would love to talk to you." And so that's really how this whole
The rest
thing
is
started.
history.
The rest is not history, but because I had to like try to dodge him a little bit, but I was over here like, who?
You're playing
I
hard.
don't remember. No, but I really, because the wedding was a lot, like I really didn't
Okay, you didn't
remember.
remember
And
that.
when I remember when his friend had said, "My boy is looking to get married," he pointed to a bunch of guys,
Okay,
and they were
so
all
you didn't
standing
know which
together.
one.
So I really didn't know who he was talking about.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, do you still talk to the plug, like whoever?
funny enough, yeah, I do.
Yeah. No, you definitely want to continue to go into these rooms, the weddings, the baby showers, the events, etc.
Go to weddings.
Go to weddings because you might meet your husband or your wife.
I want to chime in. I have another question. Y'all can pivot it. You guys have similar stories, right?
Very.
Both of you guys got married very young, right? So two-part question. What advice would you give like to the youth, to the younger girls that are coming up? Do you think they should try to get married early, or do you think they should try to pursue their career first and then try to get married? That's one. And two, the fact at the time that you got married young, did you feel like you were making a mistake, or you knew that you were gonna be in this position today?
And let's define age.
Yes.
Because I do feel that now there is a large population of women who actively throughout their 20s are, "I'm not ready for a relationship or to get married." Actively, like not looking to do so. And unfortunately, like life doesn't happen when you snap your finger and you say that you're ready.
Yeah.
So I think it's important,
To define age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
For me, even though I did get married young, I think his first question was, would you
advise?
Would you advise?
I personally wouldn't. And the reason why I say that is because, one, when you're younger, the 19-year-old me who got married, and
You're right, 19.
19.
How old were you?
20.
Okay.
The 19-year-old me who got married is not the 31-year-old woman that's sitting here. And so the things that I believed in and my views on a lot of things, the way they were at 19 are not the same that I have, the ones that I have now, right? And thankfully for me, it worked out. I was lucky in that as I grew, like as I was growing and I was changing, because I changed a lot in the past 11 years. And as I was changing, my husband has been able to grow with me, right?
Yes, and make room for your growth.
And make room for
Because some
that
people will be like,
growth.
"Oh, you changed."
And, oh, you changed. Exactly.
Yep.
But you got to remember, at 19, you are still a baby.
Yeah.
Like, you are still a baby. Because even when I sit here and think about, like, some of my ideas and some of my views as a 19-year-old, and now here as a woman, I'm just like, like, I used to be so much, like, I was much more judgmental because, again, like, I had this view on how life is supposed to be. Wrong is wrong. There is no gray line. There is, you know what I mean? And as you grow, you go through experiences. You're like, whoa, like, girl, like, take a step back, right? But I was lucky that my husband was able to grow with me, and so that didn't create issues. That might not happen for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And because a lot of times as you grow, it creates a shift, even with friendships, even with family. Like, you leave people behind because that growth no longer aligns.
Yep.
And sometimes that growth is not going to align with that partner. So that's why I'm okay. Like, I say, wait if you can. Honestly, after 25 is a good, anytime after 25, because 19 is very young, you know. So after 25, because the shift has happened, but from 25 to 30, there was a shift, but not as drastic as the previous years.
From 19 to 25.
That's the first thing I'll say. 2, it's hard. It's really hard. We don't talk about it enough. Like, I think one of the things, I don't like to talk about this because every time I start talking about this, I go into tearing, and Dauda is here, and I'm a gangster, so I'm not a crier.
Better not cry.
I am not a crier.
You better not cry.
Give us a tissue.
No. We're not crying. We're not crying.
You better not cry.
But it's hard, right? So the reason why I'm like, women should focus on their careers first is because even as you get married and you're having these kids and you're doing all these things, and it's great, but it's really hard to be able to do all of that at the same time. And it also, it affects how you show up, right? So I feel like when, as a woman, for instance, like, look at you right now. You're now married. Your career is fully established. I think when you become a mother, I think it will be a little bit easier. The reason why it's like, you've had the career, you have the resources. I think a lot of time people don't think about the resources that you need when you have to become a mom, such a young couple, and all these other things. You're still trying to figure out money, and it adds stress to your marriage. It will add stress to your marriage, right?
Ooh, I just got chills.
You see what I mean? And then if you are not done with school on top of that, you might not finish. A lot of women don't go back and finish because it's a lot to deal with, having a husband, a house.
But do you need to finish? That's the question. You talk about school, right?
How you feel.
I think you do.
It depends on how you feel too. Like, if it's a personal choice. If you feel like you need to finish, that is a sense of accomplishment for you. Yeah, you would want to go back and finish it. But
and to get into a career that can help financially stabilize your family as well. Because then I feel like you can get stuck in this rat race of, okay, I have to work because I need to sustain the family and help sustain the family. But in order for me to try to tap into the next level of income, or the next level that will also help the family so much more, I need to do school. But how do I do school? Because they need to eat now. But like, if I'm not able to do this as well, then they're always going to only have a little bit of what they can get, or I can try to give them everything, but I'm going to have to not spend much time with them because I'm going to have to get 2-3 jobs you know what I'm saying?
It's a whole balance thing. And to what she said, I agree totally. Like, I would not, it depends on your spouse. It depends on the kind of man you have, in my opinion. Getting married at 20, like she said, the views I had back then and what I have at a 37-year-old woman sitting right here is totally different. Much more mature. And I don't think if I didn't have the type of husband I had, I'll still be married today.
Thank you. That's exactly why.
It's patience. Cause and I think he understood, you know, that we got married that young, and you know, there's a transition period. And the advice, and he'll probably kill me if he hears it, but the advice he gave his nephew was that don't marry a girl that has not finished her master's degree, or like those years, you know what I mean? Like your bachelor's
Like
is
the-
4 years, like 21, and then your master's 2 extra years, like 23.
Like mature in terms of age wise.
Age wise. So that's what he's saying. Like
Essentially
you're
25 and up.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
at that age, you know, or you shaping a lot of your mindset. It's your core mindsets are starting to shape, right? And as you get older, it becomes firm. So at that age, that's the advice he gives his little nephews and people that come to him about marriage. But marrying young depends on your spouse. It depends on who you are married to. If your husband is patient enough to grow with you and shift with your changes and your mindset and things like that, you should be good. I'm not gonna tell you as a woman to wait until you get your degree, wait until you're older or whatever, because I'm not God. I can't tell if you're gonna pass away today or tomorrow, right? Because we can't control time. But if you feel like that you want to get this done, the main important thing is get a spouse that you feel like will understand as you shift.
But there's no way of knowing 100%. That's why I
That's
say I
true.
got lucky. I
That's
can't sit
true.
here and be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, like I did, like I knew what to choose. I knew what to look for.
Yeah.
It's like,
Blessings.
there's a lot of there's a lot
Yeah.
of
A lot
of blessings and
being, like,
prayers.
lucky and honestly learning how to deal through things, because it's like it's not easy. And going back to
Yeah.
the other question when he said, "Do you have to finish?" A lot of times, if you don't finish, you might end up resenting the person, and that might be the reason why. Yeah, and because every single time you go back here like, oh, I didn't finish school because of X, Y, and Z. You resent the other person because of it, right? So there's that. Again, like for me, I did get married young, and thankfully it worked out for me. But my advice is like wait until at least 25. Again, I really wanted to get married. Originally, I wanted to get married at 30. That was the goal for me, because I wanted to make sure like I was 30 years old before I got married. I don't know why 30 was so important to me, but that's what I wanted.
I wanted to be married young. I always.
Yeah, but okay, that's also you wanted to say something.
No, go ahead.
Like both of you guys wanted to get married young.
No,
she said I
30.
wanted to get married
30. Yeah,
young.
sorry,
I said I
30,
wanted to
30.
get young.
Okay, so that's funny because that's literally two different perspectives.
Yeah.
But you guys ended up in the same place at the same time, kind of around the same
And
time.
with similar
Okay,
perspective
so
now.
where does your mentality come from? Where did you get that 30 from? Where did you get that I want to get married young from? Because we see that every day.
I always wanted to have my own family. Like I always had that vision of by the time I'm 30, I have a stable job. I have my kids. I'm done having kids. I have my husband. We have our home. We have, as much as perfect as you can get.
So where did you get that idea? Who put that in your head? Like was it? Is that what you
Was
saw?
it like culturally or
It
from
wasn't
home or no?
culturally. My parents didn't raise me to follow culture, even though we respect culture and appreciate culture. But my parents always been a little bit modern. If we say. So they didn't raise me to be like that. But my mom was very independent, and she always had that vision of my own thing, but also my spouse and my kids and my house. And my mom also got married young, 24. Maybe not as young
maybe
as
just
me, but she also
naturally.
got married young. So it's probably where I got that idea.
Got you.
But I always wanted like a core center.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I've always been very like strong-willed, even as a child. Like I've always been that way, and I think the reason why for me 30 was in my head is like at 30 I'm done with my career, I'm well established, I have good income coming in, like I'm independent, then I can go into meeting somebody, having kids, and all these things, right? Because again, like my dad always taught me, he will always say, le premier mari de la femme, c'est son travail. Like that's always been my dad. So a lot of times, like I always say this, like people think, oh, I behave this way or I am like this because I grew up here. Like the way my dad raised us has always been like, I'm like a whole, because they make fun of me at home because they're like, oh, like I'm such a man, right? Because of how I am sometimes. And but yeah, like I was like 30 I will be done with X, Y, and Z. And originally I also thought that I wanted to go to law school. And so for me I was like, oh yeah, by 30 I will be done with law school. I would have practice and all these.
Thank God you don't go to law school. You still would have been there right now.
Enough, I keep thinking about going back every now and then, but I'm like
you don't want
just
that.
imagining how much it is, because it's funny enough, like even like last month I was looking into it.
Yeah.
Looking into
Yeah, I think you
there's
told me.
there's like an evening program at like the local law school.
Yeah.
I've really looked into it like in recent years, and every couple of years I think about like go back, don't go back. But yeah, I guess I haven't found enough.
Maybe next interview we'll be like, oh, she just
Esquire.
graduated. Yes.
Honestly, I think the reason why right now, for instance, right, the only reason why I haven't gone back is because I don't think I want to take money out of my own pocket to pay for law school. But if someone were to tell
Scholarships
me
and-
today, or if I were right now to find someone that was, a job or whoever that says, I will pay for you to
for
go to
your
law
school?
school, I probably will go.
Yeah. I think that, I mean, inshallah, because that's, do you have any? So one of the things too, like to your point, because you mentioned like on my end, okay, I did a bit of the reverse, but like one of the things on your end, I think like for both of you, it's like, okay, you got married young, right? You were able to have your kids, and your girls are older, right? And then your girls, I think, they're still kids, but like Mariama is she's now walking out for herself, and she's not fending for herself, but like, in terms of like just older in a sense of, if you were to now want to do any sort of ventures, I feel like they'll be getting, in the next couple of years into that age where, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do that. Whereas like, on my end, it's the opposite, whereby you're starting that journey, and that time to allocate to maybe other things may not be there.
But you see where you are no longer have to worry about going into, like, you're not building your career anymore, right? And because you're not building your career and the seniority that you have, you have such a voice in terms of, you could still have your career and say, hey, I'm leaving at 4, or I have this going on, and you can put your family first.
The flexibility,
You could do that now. And if you were like, imagine like if you were like back when you were at EY, for instance, and you had to like have a family around that time, it would be impossible, because it's like you can't pull the hours that you were pulling and still have to come home and cook and take care of a child. That's why I'm like, when you build a career, and also you may not be in a place where financially where you have to worry about struggling and I really have to keep this job, right? You see what
Even
I
though
mean?
I'm unhappy, but this like I have it's not just you anymore.
Exactly.
Okay, I have some great questions. like, so we need time. It's time for us to start cooking.
The unveiling moment,
yeah,
the
like
turning point.
it's good. But look, I have two. I'm gonna start with this one first. You're saying that maybe at that time it would have been harder for her, to juggle her job, the kids, and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Like a little adversity is good.
It is.
Okay. Also, because where she at currently, I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact we have other adversity that we deal with. Like each age, like, is different, right? So, like, I wouldn't necessarily say this is like you're good right now.
Yeah.
Because you don't know exactly what adversity somebody's dealing with.
No, absolutely. I absolutely, and I agree. Like, you never know. Like, and again, this is somebody who's gone through that. Like, you could be here, the rug can be pulled under you,
Correct.
and you're down here, and then you could be down here, and then next thing you know, you're up here. That can happen. But again, for me, what I think about is in terms of the likelihood, right? Like, what's the likelihood now that you are where you are? Given, inshallah, everything continues to go well, like the journey to motherhood and having it will be easier. You will be able to afford a little bit more
That's
care
true.
to help you with things, versus like if you didn't have all of these things set up already, it would be so much harder. And while adversity is good, I don't think we don't talk about it enough. We don't talk enough about the struggle of having to run a household and have kids, the like being overly stimulated to the point where it's like, you're like, oh my God, like, am I doing things? And once you become a mom, you are constantly questioning yourself. Am I doing good? Am I a good mom? You yell at your kids, you feel bad, you feel like a bad mom. But then you also, it's like you want to raise good human beings, but you don't want to raise them too soft. There is all of these things. And when I tell you, like, with all of that and then everything else you have to deal with, your hormones and all that stuff, like, it is so much that I feel like we need that's a conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah.
It is.
We need to
Separate.
have
Isn't enough.
next time y'all are in town. No, literally, like, because I always hear, okay, you know, the motherhood is hard, and then not even like we put in the pot. We have the motherhood, okay. We have we live here in America, so having to work on top of that, right? Having to figure out, okay, being
a wife also.
Being a wife on top of that, being African on top of that, being in America on top of that.
I say this, and I know men don't like it, and Dauda's not gonna like it when I say this.
You don't know that?
No, but if we're being honest, being a wife itself is a job.
It sure is.
And I always
So being a husband is not?
it is, but
we're
Copy
talking
that.
about a woman's point of view.
woman's point of view, it really
It's
is, especially
hard.
as women. Like we're also speaking from women who has careers and who work, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is hard because
Perfect.
you see what I mean. It's one of those things where that person needs your time too. There's certain things where if you, let's say, because if my thing is, it's like if you didn't, sometimes if I'm gonna be honest, sometimes if I didn't necessarily live with a man, my kitchen, probably you'll find my kitchen messy because I ain't gotta worry about somebody coming and be like, why does this kitchen looks like this? But even with, and I will say this, right? A lot of time people are like, oh, but you're so lucky because you have a hand-on partner.
Yeah.
Even when you have a hand-on partner and a hand-on dad, it can still be very hard because gender roles, right? Gender roles, societal, cultural roles and norms. And again, like even if your husband does dishes, your husband cooks, or he doesn't care if y'all eat out, there are certain things that
you just
are just there. And it's hard.
That's true.
do. It's not even like you feel like you have to do it. You just like, it's just naturally that you want to do it. And then one key thing to be mindful of is not to neglect your husband.
What do you mean by that?
As far as that, like what she was saying, being a wife is like really, really tough. Because it's like men don't talk. they wait until it builds up.
That's a fact.
And then you see the things that they're doing, they're maneuvering a little bit different. You're like, what the
That's a
hell?
fact.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh snap. You know.
Yeah. You got your
And then you're confused, like, wait, what?
What happened?
Right?
Where did this come from?
We mad.
Yeah, we say it. We might say it right
But
away.
them, they let it build up. And you got to be like mindful of that. Oh, did I, did I, you start
No, that's a
asking
fact.
questions. You cannot, that's constantly in your head as a wife. It has nothing to do about gender roles and stuff like that. You're a wife, right? You're supposed to make both each other happy, but just be mindful that, hey, he's a human being. He's your husband, and don't neglect him. And I learned that, I wouldn't say recently, but before I was when I first got married.
So
as you get older, you start seeing that, and then we have the conversations and stuff like that. Okay, I'm like, okay.
Now let me chime in. I agree the neglecting part, but also the other side of that. Sometimes we do want to be neglected. Like we don't want to be bothered. We want the peace. But and also Granaya says something. But you are right about the building up. We got about at least 4 let goes. We let it go 4 times. But the fifth one is, what I'm saying, pressure bust pipes. So the fifth one, that's when it get bad. But to what Granaya was saying, you right, from your perspective, it is different. Like we have different experience, even though we live together. Yeah. But I would say sometimes we have to meet in the middle because I clearly seen you pull her son on the camera while he was shoveling the snow. Talk about, I'm glad I'm not a man. I seen that. So we'll do dishes. We'll help out with some of the house chores, but we will never see you guys outside shoveling snow.
That's different.
What do you mean that's different?
Shoveling snow. I mean, why would you even want your wife to do that?
Why do you want your husband to wash dishes?
Here's the thing. I have shoveled snow, but he was out of town.
Nobody saw it, so it doesn't count.
No, it does count.
You should have put it on camera.
And I was cold as hell.
Nah, it doesn't count.
Like I do it. Like I take out the trash, but that's because he's not in town, right? Like you pick up for each other, and that's like vice versa.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just what it is. Like when it comes to marriage, it's like it's the two of you guys doing it together. And honestly, like I always say, marriage is not necessarily like one of those things where people are supposed to be like, oh my God, marriage is supposed to be so. It's not so hard, but it's also not easy. And and we're gonna sit here and be like, because people be like, oh, marriage is supposed to be easy or marriage is supposed to be hard. No,
I don't think
it's not
so.
supposed to be
Life
easy.
is not easy.
No, but it's not. No,
Even
no,
when
but
you
it's
live
not
with your
also supposed to be
siblings,
hard
you
either,
fight.
right?
You get into things.
Hard.
Yeah,
It's like a medium.
it's like a meat. Basically, it's
You
supposed
get
to.
hard times, you get easy times.
I think it's just supposed to be quiet, right? And I listen. If your marriage is quiet, I think it's good.
peaceful.
It's peaceful, basically, right? Because I think a lot of times people expect this. Oh my God, all these highs and all these lows, and sometimes you just need to be like a boat that's like going and it's
you
going
steady.
smoothly and
You
it's
understand
fine.
each other.
And I think that's where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And communication.
Yeah.
Is important.
I was gonna say, like, what are some advice that you would have, especially, women married, whether it's immigrant women, non-immigrant women, etc. What are some advice and some of the things that you've learned, especially given the fact that you guys have been married for over a decade now at this point? And then that's the first. The second is with motherhood and kind of what you were saying in the sense of like, really like, I am responsible for these human beings, and then the third thing that I want to say is like, what are some things from both cultures that you feel like you're instilling or is significantly impacting both your marriage and your, motherhood journey?
I
know that was a lot.
The advice I would give is communication. That's the advice I always give.
And what does that mean? Because people say it,
Okay.
but like, what does that mean?
I think when you two got married, I texted you a long ass text, and I was like, communication and be patient. Be patient. Don't hold stuff. Talk to each other. This is your partner.
Oh,
at
Auntie
the end
spitting.
of the day. Y'all together. Y'all in this together. Y'all both want it, and then whenever it gets hot, just remember what brought y'all together. Y'all both wanted this. Y'all told your family y'all wanted this, and y'all decided and did it, right? So that's the advice I always give. When stuff get really, really tough, think about why you decided to marry this person, why you decided to be with this person for the rest of your life, per se, right? If that it's not easy for you to get to that, you need to communicate and start working things out and figure out why you don't feel the same way anymore. Type of thing. As far as juggling the motherhood and the work-life balance and all that stuff, raising a child is in different stages. You are never done raising a child. Literally. Never done raising a child. You have your babies, obviously you always got to be on them. You have your little toddlers, then you got your high schoolers, you got your teenagers. Oh, crazy.
I'm not looking forward to that stage.
Teenagers are crazy.
I've been dealing with Goku for a minute.
Whoa. Yeah, teenagers are a thing. So it's every single level of raising a child is different and comes with its own different obstacles. You just have to be open with your child. And some things that I've taken from from the American culture per se, and then the African culture, you have to like find a median. Like the U.S. culture about the openness, being open to your kids and having conversations with them, not just saying no and not giving them a reasoning and stuff like that. I have adapted that in raising my girls. Like I try to be not soft raising. No, I don't do that. But I try my best to explain why I'm doing certain things. And then also when their father is, managing them, I come back after that and say, okay, this is the reasoning behind that, because he struggles with explaining that. So I come behind him and explain that with my girls and tell them, this is what happened. Are you understanding? And then I also try to include the religion aspect of it. I try to make them understand it from that aspect, from that part of it. So that's one thing that I would say I adapted from the U.S. culture. Raising my child. But the African culture, teaching them our deen, teaching them how we do things, family, the importance of family. I really try to hone that on them. I make them call their aunts and their uncles on a monthly basis. Hey, even if it's just a text, how you doing? And just keep that going, because family is also very important. At the end of the day, these are the ones you have there if you don't have your family.
Goku, stop. Somebody's walking.
So that will be. I probably didn't answer the full question.
No, you did. You
I
did.
answered some parts of it.
Yeah, you did. What about you?
So for me, I will say the advice on the marriage. One will be try not to get other people involved too much in your marriage, like y'all, because it's like the more you get other people involved, I feel like the more it creates issues within your marriage. So try not to get other people involved in your marriage as much. Like y'all got issues, discuss it, or find one person that's not family, that's not your family, that's not his family, that y'all could talk to. Worst case scenario, talk to a therapist, because if y'all keep going back to each other's families, y'all get back together, y'all forgive each other, but each other's families start disliking the other person. So there's that. That's my literally my first advice for like the married people. So the motherhood part, honestly, I would say just be patient with yourself, because there is no book. You know, you're learning as you go, and so be patient with the stages of motherhood that you have to deal with and that you will be going through. You know. So that's the second advice. And then what was the third question again?
What
Culture.
The culture. I agree with Jenna. With Jenna when she said the openness, like trying not to react to things right away. Like, you know, when the girls talk about, because they like teasing each other about boyfriends, and trying not to like roll my eyes and act interested, like, okay, like, who's this boy? What is he? Do you like him? Do you understand what liking is? So just being very open and having these conversations. So that's one thing I would say I like about like the American culture, just being open with your kids. And honestly, culturally, I try to include a lot of cultural stuff, from food to the clothing to like just the way we do things. And of course, like religion wise, the girls are learning the Quran. They go to Arabic school every weekend. They understand, you know, they know how to pray, things like that. I think those are culture and religion. I include that through everything that we do, because I would like them to have the best of both worlds.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. So I have one final question. I don't know, do you have anything?
My question is gonna be long drawn. Like,
what is your question, at least so that we can know?
Well, the question is gonna be the culture, like our culture. Do you think there's a culture shift in terms of like the young men and the young women, in terms of like adapting to the modern day society and being in the U.S.? Do you think that is that one of the like catalysts that's making young people now want to get married? And also the career path that you guys are talking about is also a big issue in our culture, because people believe that they tends to like focus on a career than thinking about being married and having a husband, having a the family. They're like, okay, a lot of time I hear that, I'm not getting married. Hell no, I'm gonna go get a career, whatever. If somebody come, like they don't prioritize it. That's one. And two, this is gonna be funny. Do you believe that the women here, men too, but for majority of the women, like the people that are fresh off the boat, right? A lot of them are looking to get married for whatever reason, you know. But let's just say that's not the case. Do you think that they should be given a chance? Like the people that's been here. Yeah, correct. Like the Nicaraguans, you can say it. I'm not saying people that are in bad shape. Some of them are, but they're actually looking for something genuine, you know? Do you think they should be given a chance to at least, you know, meet someone to be with?
So the first question was...
Culture shift.
Was the culture shift. I honestly...
Is it good or bad, too? Is the shift good or bad?
I don't think the shift is bad. I think, funny enough, I don't think it's actually just a culture shift from like Guineans and things like that. I think as society as a whole, you're seeing more women putting an emphasis to their career, to them being independent and things like that. Because at the end of the day, you being independent and you don't have to rely, like it's not necessarily a bad thing to rely on a man, but you can rely on yourself to take care of yourself. And I think so people are focusing on that first and then saying, okay, then, you know, when I meet somebody, then it's like the total package. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, just because we've seen even to this day what happens to some women who are married, right? But then don't have a career, and they're relying 100% financially on a man, right? A lot of times it works out when you have a great husband, but then there are times where it doesn't work out because you're being maltreated. There is financial abuse, and then what do you do, right? And because like if you're on social media, the amount of time I literally just came across a video of a woman who was talking about how She's been married. She had 5 kids back to back, and I think she's pregnant with the 6th one.
Hey.
And her husband literally, she's a stay-at-home mom, and her husband literally is like, "Oh, I don't want to be married anymore," and he's left her, and she got to figure it out.
Oh, goodness.
That's crazy.
So things like that is why I think more young women are like looking at that and are trying to learn.
But that's an anomaly that don't usually happen a lot.
Yeah, but it happens a lot more than we think, and I think it's because it's happening more. And social media is this platform that now people like.
That's true. That's true.
Like if you go into social media, like I've come across so many of these stories that I'm like, whoa, what the hell is going on with things like this? Because I like if you had asked me like a year ago, I probably would have been like, yeah, that don't happen so much so often. But this past year, I've came across so many videos of similar situations, right? So I think people are seeing, like girls are seeing that, and they're like worried about what does their future look like. And I think it's okay for them to worry about their career, where they could be. So I don't think necessarily the culture shift is bad, but that's okay. Everybody will feel different about that.
I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, but I also think there's a culture shift as far as the definition of what a man is and a woman is type of thing. No, like the roles, right, and stuff like that. I do understand getting my mother always taught us, hey, have your own. Have your own, no matter what, have your own. And yeah, we all have our own, but we also need to understand as a man being your spouse, what his role is, and also be able to allow him to be the man of the house type of thing, and for him also to understand what your role is, and for him to allow you to do your role and carry you too. So I think that's where the shift is sometimes, and I don't think it's a bad thing because I've always been taught to have my own. It's not new to me, right? I always been taught to have my own. So I think the shift comes in the definition of who does what, or what you're supposed to let who do.
What about you? What you think?
I think I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, but I think there are extremes. There are people who make it like to the extreme. Like I think it's something where I think it would be good for it to be concurrent, like at the same time. If you can, as you're working on yourself, leave room and have it open to meet that person, because, because like at the end of the day, like you don't want a whole bunch of girls kind of growing up and thinking like this in their mindset and then completely putting something off and not even entertaining it. And then when they kind of get their head up and realize it may be too late, or they may like, okay, now I'm ready to meet someone, but then you don't for like a long time. And then now you also then feel the pressure because biological clock is not like a fake thing. It's a real thing, and obviously there's technology and there's all this other stuff, but it is something that is real. And so, and then you also don't want to rush, and then you end up rushing into the wrong marriage or with a wrong partner because you feel like you're running out of time. So that's one thing I would say is like at least being open-minded and like, entertaining different things as they come while still focusing on yourself. Because I agree with what you're saying in that like there's a sense of like confidence that you have in your own shoes when you're able to like fend for yourself. Like, especially as a woman, and if you have kids and all this other stuff, there's a sense of like confidence. And then that confidence even comes as you're running your household and you don't feel resentment. And some of the resentment that you guys were talking about of like, not being able to feeling like what you could have accomplished was kind of cut off from under you and just halted, I
agree.
So,
it was do you think those Nicaraguans deserve a chance?
Americans, you're saying because some people here that are here might think that like
they're fresh off the boat. 1, 2, meaning that they haven't caught up yet. Like our mind state is not the same. It's like you still living like you're back home. You still have those values, and I don't really value those values like that anymore.
It depends on that person's mindset. It depends
on the person, because I actually, one thing I will say, I think people should be open, because I have seen like some of the Nicaraguans that recently like came. I've seen like I know some people who are on the extreme side of in terms of their views, and I've seen some that are I'm shocked like. extremely open,
Yep.
like very much like people who are just like my husband. So I would say like think people should be open to
Okay.
to meeting
meet
them, no matter like where they are in terms of like, oh, they just came here. Be open, because you really never know,
never know.
who you meet in these
Because
instances.
that's true.
I agree.
Because even on our last podcast, we were talking about this. But the funny enough, a lot of women would say, "I don't want to be with Mama do with the taxi." That's just a fact.
Here's what I would say with that. I do think that like I agree with being open. I agree with meeting different people and understanding who they are. I do agree where I do understand where the hesitation may come from some people, because it might seem that like, because it is like what I started with is the multicultural experience. It is different.
Yeah.
And like there may be certain things that you don't align with because of the fact that like you may take on, or you have a blended culture, but that doesn't mean that they won't adapt or they don't know or etc. And to your point, like there may be people who, despite growing up in a conservative environment, are actually open-minded and like for example, your father telling the teacher like, no, do not beat my child, in this classroom. So I agree with being open.
That's
but
true.
I also agree with what you're saying. Like where those people may be coming from is they may want someone who's fully established.
Yeah.
Then and that's their prerogative. I
that's
guess.
true. That's true. But if you're
Yeah.
saying like someone that has the multicultural experience, you should be diverse, right?
Yeah.
Meaning like, if you have that culture, then you should be able to blend in here and here.
Yeah.
So if someone coming from this background, you should automatically understand, okay, I know where you're coming from,
Yeah.
but I have this other experience that you don't even know about. I'm gonna bring you along.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they're not willing to do that. Also, it's the perspective, like the outlook of it. It's like you were someone that's fresh off the boat. A lot of time the people, it's funny enough, but that play a part.
Yeah.
Oh, like he just fresh off the boat. He don't know. We know someone. He don't like the way. Yeah. Like yeah.
Like, oh, somebody's fresh off the boat.
Also
Yeah.
because
There's
the
some
way they
people
carry
who may
themselves,
look down on, or
the way they dress, the
there's
way
some
they
people
talk.
that may look down on that because
know-
you're not fully established.
Yeah,
You're not
and-
fully
and
there.
I
It's
think
not-
it's
the fully established
fully
aspect
established.
of it.
Auntie, I don't agree, because a lot of them come in like there's people that work, but I swear to God, if people they want people to hear that, oh, your husband is corporate, then your husband is driving a taxi,
Yeah,
Yeah.
whole
and that man
fully
driving a taxi probably making more.
The whole
Yeah.
fully established
Yeah, yeah.
aspect of it. So it's this whole mentality of you have to be a button up and have a corporate job to be successful type of thing, and that's not the case.
It's the
Yeah.
title.
That's not the case.
Yeah.
That's just
I mean,
a
It's
title.
a title.
And I always say like people have the right to choose what it is
Yeah.
that
That's
they
true.
want
That's
and
true.
stuff. But I still say be open minded, because
Yeah.
things are and be open minded, because you just really never know.
Yep.
Like I always say this, like if I was one of those people that I'm like, oh, like no, like my partner has to, go to college and things like that. My partner didn't end up going to college. Like I didn't marry
Exactly.
somebody who went to college,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like he finished high school and he went straight into working, and he didn't finish college. And that worked like because of the circumstances. He wanted to go to college, he just couldn't.
Yep.
And so that's just what happened.
Yeah.
So if
A lot of us.
And so if I was like, oh no, I'm not marrying someone who did not go to college because of X, Y, and Z, I wouldn't be married right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, be open.
I agree.
Because
And-
you don't know.
Yeah, and
That's
the
my
mama
last-
dude with the cab can end up working hard, being driven, and
Yep.
owning a whole bunch of different vehicles and renting it out and all this other stuff, and like actually being an entrepreneur. I feel like sometimes people look down on
I
like
agree.
small entrepreneurs.
Yeah. So we can wrap it up now.
Yeah. So the final question that I want to ask is the unveiling moment in your life. If you can think of whether it's someone who impacted you, whether it was a positive experience or a negative experience, whether it was a movie, anything, is there something that you would say, was there an unveiling moment in your life that really made a huge impact in terms of how you ended up where you are today? And it can be like for example, even in your your content creation, right? Or like at work or motherhood or whatever the case may be. If you feel that like this was the thing that allowed me to unlock me to get to that next level of where I am today.
Yeah, like for me, it will be content creation, because I am not going to lie to you. Like creating content opened so many doors for me, like even within my career. The career, because I went into when I went into working for Visit Indiana, one of the things that helped push my application forward, yes, I I had experience, comms experience, and things like that. But really, what helped me is the social media part of it. Being able to build the platform that I've been able to build, working with the brands that I've been able to bring, understanding how influencer marketing work. Because I was an influencer, because I've done the side of an influencer, so I could go ahead and then put my shoes on the influencer manager or part. So creating content has really changed my life in so many ways, from my career, helping push my career to this day. Meeting people that open doors. Honestly, there's so many people, like, having the platform that I have, I follow, and so many people follow me that creates opportunities for me, that I like, people that we've never met, but we connected online, and they've created opportunities for me, right? Because they saw me, they liked me, we had a few conversations, and based on that, they mentioned my names in certain rooms that I wasn't there, and open opportunities. Sponsors. Honestly, like, even the current job the last 2 jobs that I've had, I didn't I applied for them, but really it's because people knew of me and knew my background because of social media, and had reached out to me when an opportunity opened up, and thought I would be perfect for it, right? And even financially, so it created a lot more than I've imagined for myself. So.
And with that, I think that so many people, especially whether it's older generations or whatever, I think nowadays a lot more people understand that, like, it's not just how when Facebook was first created, or, when Instagram or Snapchat, whatever came first created, where it's just like, oh, going to my friend's house, in like a social media platform. It's a business. It's a platform. It's a brand. People are no longer watching regular television and seeing like commercials. People are no longer, there's billboards that happen, but like everyone is on their phone, and it's a brand. It's literally your digital resume, and you're leaving your impact, your footprint globally. Before, you can do as much as you can, and the people around you will know, your community or your state, and then for those who then made it out, right, other people know. But this actually gives you access to so many other people in the world to be inspired by you. So I definitely do think that's huge. So
for me, I would say it was we did like a panel thing at work, and one of the advice that they gave was to be able to speak for yourself and sell yourself in a way. And I have never done that before. Before I was like, okay, I'll go to work, do my job, and leave. But since I sat down through that panel and I heard, speak for yourself, sell yourself, things like that, I started doing that, and it opened so many doors for me, right? Opened so many doors for me. In the last 2 years, I have been promoted in different departments because I started selling myself, right, type of way.
Talk.
And I started talking about myself, and my name is already unique. I'm
the only one.
The whole thing. So when they see that, and then I go in and I'm like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. They're like, okay. And then it opens doors. So don't be shy to
toot your horn. Yes.
Right?
Toot your horn.
When you toot it, somebody else will hear it and talk about you when you're not in
the room.
Be like, hey, that person could do this project for you.
Exactly.
She did a great job with this one, and that like those type of things.
Yeah.
So professionally, that's what I would say. Personally, I would say the one event that happened, and you all know, like the last 3 years or so, like we've experienced some things in my family personally, and it also just showed me like who is who type of thing, like who is really down for me and my family, who checks on me, who appreciates me and do those things. And not to be emotional or anything, but you 3 are one of those that have checked in on me.
I checked on you? Well, I don't remember.
Don't make me curse on this podcast.
Well, I don't remember.
You can't be serious.
Anyway,
I probably forgot.
So, the whole, I would say Clubhouse is my community. My husband laughed at me. He goes, why are you over here talking to this? I'm like,
it's true.
People.
Yes.
These people showed up when, I was going through stuff, right?
Let them know,
tough for
Tanti.
my family. So I was like, these people showed up, even if it's just jokes. Like this dude, he sent me, you know what he did? He sent me a joke of something. He goes, Auntie, remember what word did I use in the podcast?
Oh, when we were doing
Magnesium.
When we were doing the trivia.
Remember about these? I swear to God, I looked at that. I laughed so hard. I was like, "Dude, I hate you." I laughed so
Never
hard.
serious.
But it was that. I was like, okay, that's his way of checking on me, and making sure I'm doing
As
good,
unique as
right?
it is.
Literally.
So it was that. Personally, that's that is my turning point, because I look at people differently now. Like I move differently now.
Yeah.
I focus more, like important things are different for me now, right? I give my energy to what's important to me now. If it's not,
Cut it.
No, next.
I'm not gonna put my energy in it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So
Yep.
No, that
Close out.
those are amazing, amazing turning points. Oh my goodness. Ooh, it's got Terry there at the end.
I told you,
Goodness.
Now you walking like you got tears.
My husband's in the
It's
back.
really
Terry.
touching.
Remember magnesium?
No, it's all about just community and love and growth. And I'm extremely proud of you both. And I'm so happy that we were able to download this random app around the pandemic that like created such a community that had ups and downs and left and rights. But like, I do truly feel like we're able to get such a like really, really great community out of it. And I agree, like toot your horn. Like, and even with your platform, with you at work, standing up for yourself, advocating for yourself, because that's something that sometimes in the community, it's go to work, put your head down and work hard, but performance is no longer enough at all. You need to talk out loud. You need to say, here's what I do, and etc. Because and sometimes I know in the community, it's looked down upon, right? Like, oh, you're bragging, you're this, you're that. Like, no, toot your horn, stand up for yourself, and be confident in your own shoes. But I am so glad that you guys were able to come on this podcast. We definitely need to have another part once you are an attorney, once you are like coming back, your college student kids and whatnot. Next time you guys are in New York. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. For those of you who if they want to contact you or know where to find you, like LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever it is, where can they reach you?
On LinkedIn, I am Aissatou Balde. On TikTok and Instagram, Tails and Turbans, and my website is tailsandturbans.com.
Yep.
Don't
Go
ahead,
mind
Auntie.
in
We
the
here for
back.
Auntie.
LinkedIn, Jana Bubari. The way DJENABOU.
Yep.
On IG, _DJAI.
Okay.
So it's different, but it's Jana Bubari all the way.
Yeah, you go, girl. Let's get it. Let's close it out.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in.
You.
Oh, go ahead.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
No, of course.
Don't forget to.
Yeah. Thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below. Thank you guys for joining us for such an amazing, amazing episode.
Thank you. We out.
Thank you.